Today, we saw the S&P 500 making new all-time highs, the Fear and Greed Index hitting 72. Will the CPI be able to crash the market tomorrow, or is this other event even more important? We come over and look at how the indices fared across the board. The Dow was up 431 points. NASDAQ was up 108 points. S&P 500 up 40 points, with the Russell 2000 being up 49 points. Now we look at advancing issues versus declining. We have 53% of issues advancing on the day, with 43% of issues declining on the day. We come over and we look at the sectors across the board, and we can see across the board, it was very positive. The lagging sectors out there was real estate, utilities, and communication services. Technology by far outpacing everything else. Now, tomorrow it's going to be all about 8:30 a.m. The CPI data coming out along with the weekly unemployment claims. However, is this a case where it's going to be the CPI right here in the government's own wording? The CPI is a statistical estimate that is subject to sampling error. So if we come out with a better than expected number and you're scratching your head saying, you know what, something doesn't seem right, well, they lay it out in front of you right ahead of time. They warn you, hey, it could be nothing more than a sampling error. We are not lying to you. We're doing it. We're giving you the best information we have. Today, we come over and take a look at Tesla. And Tesla out here for the day, we can see it looks like we have a little mini bear flag pattern off the daily chart. Now, we come over and look at this on the 5-minute chart. Notice today we gapped down. We came ripping all the way back up, only to come back down. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be very, very important. We want to pay very close attention to Tesla. And why is that? It's going to be all about robotaxi day. And again, we're going to see, does Tesla's stock have a positive reaction to the robotaxi event out here tomorrow? Because on the daily chart, like I said, this looks like a bear flag pattern. If we start breaking below 237.82, watch out. We're probably going to drop to 228.91. However, we know the event is going to be highly controlled. Elon is banking on this is going to be the next big thing for Tesla. So don't be surprised that this bear flag pattern gets busted. And if we can get back above, I'd say 251.18, look for the market to come all the way back up here, potentially filling the gap at 258. Now, if we come over and look at NVIDIA real quick, NVIDIA today was rocketing in on the way up. However, when we look at this on the 5-minute chart, we saw the gap up, boom, came back down. We rallied back up, boom, back down, and we really closed roughly somewhere in the ballpark of the middle of the range for the day. And as we look at this on the daily chart, we can see yesterday we completed this smaller ABC pattern on the way up, but let's not take our eyes off the prize. There is a larger ABC pattern above us at 141.27. Now, if we come over and look at the dollar index today, dollar index, big, strong push up, breaking above this structure breakdown point. The next area is really going to be all the way up here at about 103.61. Then we come over and look at gold. Gold continues to push a little bit lower. Now I'm going to be watching gold up into this area about 26.10 down here to about 25.97 or so. See if we come down towards that area and then potentially bounce. If we go ahead and we grab a Fibonacci retracement, we measure from the swing low to the swing high. Notice we're right near the 61.8. So if gold does indeed put its foot in the ground and starts to bounce from this level, I would not be the slightest bit surprised. However, I do favor a test down towards the 78.6, right within this next high volume area out here on the composite profile. Now today we take a look at crude oil, and crude oil today had a big buying tail on the bottom of the candle, and I like where we came back down towards previous swing high. We have busted out. We have now come back to retest that level. When we look at this on the 5-minute chart, you can see this is very evident. Crude oil is going down, 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 boom, on the move back up. Now on the 5-minute chart, we can also make the case that we have this A to B equals C to D pattern on the way up, and that will complete up here about 24.26. However, if we come down below this swing point at 72.29, watch out. That's going to be nothing more than a failed pattern. The pattern at that point will be busted. Now we come over and look at the Dow Jones. We can see a strong push right there, very, very close towards all-time highs. Then we come over and we look at the small caps real quick. And what do we see? Small caps today trying to get a little bit of a bounce, but we do have a selling tail on the top of that candle. That could be a little bit problematic. And then we jump over to the QQQs real quick, and we can see it looks like the Qs are trying to form another ABC pattern within this larger ABC pattern, which completes at 510. Now, if we draw out and map out the new ABC pattern that I see playing out on this chart, That gives us a price completion up here at about 522.85. Now, when we dive down, we look at this on the 4-hour chart, we see the MACD indicator just starting to cross to the upside. Then on the 1-hour chart, we see nice separation of the MACD lines. But then as we go over to the 30-minute chart, notice the lines are starting to smoosh together. And let's not forget, we have a gap out here from yesterday that still has not come back and been filled. Now, does that mean we're going to fill it tomorrow? No, but we do have some catalysts tomorrow that could aid in the process of seeing the Qs come down and fill that gap. Now, when we look at the profile shape, this is going to be a P as in Paul shape profile. And with this profile, what am I expecting? If we break value area low, which will come in at 491.19, I would expect the lower third of the range to come back and get tested somewhere around 489.15. However, if we break value area high at 493.41 and we can stay above it, then I go ahead and I anticipate the market is going to continue to work its way up towards the first ABC projection at about 510.33. Now, I want to make you guys aware time is running out to take advantage of Apex's massive 80% sale. But like always, promo code Mike will get you the best deal that Apex has to offer. And if you guys like to check out My Fun and Futures, promo code Mike will also make sure you get the best deal over there. As we dive down and we look at the futures markets real quick, what do we see? We're almost right back up here to the recent high. Now, we can see from a weekly standpoint, as long as we can stay above value area high from last week, then it's all green lights go, buy. Now, we can also map out this little ABC pattern in the futures market. Now, that would give us a price completion up here about 20,622. But when we dive down and we look at the daily profiles real quick, there's a key level I want to pay attention to, and we'll see, do we reach this area tonight, which is going to come in somewhere in the ballpark of about 20,368. Down here to about 20,357. Now, the jury's still out in terms of if we'll be streaming live tomorrow or not, as we're still waiting for the approach of Hurricane Milton, which should strike me sometime around 11 o'clock tonight. If you want to make sure you don't miss the next live stream, make sure you're subscribed and you have the bell notifications turned on for all. But this right here is going to be a point of interest. And what I'm going to go on to say is, as long as we're below value area high at 20,478, watch for this point of control to be tested at 20,411. Anything below that, I want to target that minus development area. First time down into that area, I expect a consolidation or a bounce out. Then if we come down a second or third time, that's when I would expect that level to break, working our way down towards value area low at 20,294, or maybe right in this minus development area right over here as well, which starts at, we'll call it 20,315 to about 20,305. Now, when we come over and look at the SPY today, what do we see? A new all-time highs. Give it up for all the bulls out there. We look out here on the 4-hour chart and we have huge MACD divergence. As we're running up, the MACD indicator is nowhere near the levels it was up in this area over here. Now, you can also notice we have a buying tail on the bottom of that candle, and this could be a hanging man candle, the weakest of all reversal patterns. But if we start coming back down below it, watch out for this high volume node down here, about 571.45 to get tested. Now, if we're looking for levels above us, keep in mind, we do have this larger ABC pattern right here, which should complete somewhere in the ballpark of about 592 or so. Now, as we dive down and look at the 30-minute chart, here's an ABC pattern that we drew out during the live stream this morning when we were doing the pre-market prep. And you can see we've already made it to that level. We did not quite make it to the 127 extension. Now, you can also make the case that we have a minus development area that could be in play, and we'll see if we come into the zone tomorrow. And that's going to be anywhere from 574.5 up here to about 575.15. Now, ideally, if we break value area low, that's when I really want to start to target this level. Or if we go ahead and we break value area high and we start coming down, we can target that point of control at 577.16, then value area low at 575.75, then the minus development area, which is 575.17, down towards 574.53. Anything below that, I would target right here, this distribution node at 573.58, then see if I can hold out for a runner all the way down here towards this gap being filled at 567.81. Now, keep in mind, this might be a multiple day trade in order to get down towards those price levels. Now, as we come over and look at the futures markets, what do we see on the ES? Big push on the way up. And if we go to, we map out this A to B equals C to D pattern, we can see right now, it looks like it wants to complete at about 5862.05. However, we can see these last 2 4-hour candles do have selling tails on the top of them. So we'll see if that's showing us that we're going to have weakness in the very near future. Also, notice as we had this strong leg here, as we push back above the swing high here, we made a look above, boom, we came right back down towards that price point. Now on the S&P, value area high will be 5846.25 with the point of control down here at 5832.25. Value area low will be 5811.25. Now, one of the areas I will be watching, we'll see if it's CPI that induces a move down towards this area, or maybe it's just Asia or London tonight. But anywhere in the ballpark of 58.17 down towards about 58.16. That is going to be on my radar. I want to see, can the market make it down towards that price point, and go ahead and test that area out. Now, if you guys would like to learn how to place a stop loss in NinjaTrader and the difference between a stop limit and a stop market order, make sure to watch this video right here.